Hello, welcome to a 50-ish minute Vinyasa Flow practice. I'm wearing long sleeves. It is freezing in my home. So my goal for this practice is to build a little bit of heat kind of quickly. That said, it's really important to take the first few moments just to settle in. So when you're ready, you can meet me on your back. Options to keep the knees bent, to extend the legs long, or I think I'm going to go with Supta Baddha today, bringing the soles of the feet together and letting the knees part. Let your hands rest on your belly, around your heart, or maybe on the inner thighs. Simply to start to create a sense of connection and an intention around tuning into your own body. You might let the eyes close. Shift your focus inward. Perhaps you can do that just by softening the gaze. Notice how you're landing in your space, on your mat, in your body. And start to tune into any sensations that you're aware of. If you're in Supta Baddha with me, you might feel a stretch to the inner thighs here. Notice all of the points where your body's connected to the floor or the mat underneath you. And as you allow your body to start to settle and become still, see if you can deepen your pattern of breathing without forcing it, inviting some longer inhales through your nose, maybe letting the belly fill gently like you're filling up a balloon. Slow, full exhales, letting go completely. Maybe you feel the chest relax a bit, hips ungrip. 2 more big breaths like that. Inhaling through the nose, letting the belly fill, letting the chest lift. Nice long exhale. Feel like the hips relax a bit there. Once more. Even deeper breath in through the nose. Let the breath fill up from your pubic bone all the way up through the throat. Let the breath swirl through your body here. Sip in a little bit more air at the top. Open your mouth. Plant the feet underneath the knees. You can help the knees together if they were parted. Interlace your hands and then reach the arms back up over your head, opening up to the sides of your body. Lengthen the spine. So instead of lifting the low back here, see if you can find just a tiny tuck to the tailbone. Feet are pressing down. The abdominals are gently pulling in for some support. As you exhale, bring your arms down by your side. Keep that little tilt to the tailbone and lift the hips up, coming into a bridge. First bridge, feel free to shimmy your shoulders underneath you a bit. Feel the feet pressing straight down. So your shins are perpendicular to the mat. You can walk the feet in a little bit if you need, or out a little bit. And then notice if you feel like you're kind of kicking the legs forward in front of you, see if you can redirect that force straight down through your heels. Lower the hips slowly. Inhale the arms back up over your head, opening up through the side body and the underarms. And then exhale back into bridge, bringing your arms to your side. You can blink the eyes open at any time you want or keep them closed. Reach up, breathe in. Bridge as you exhale, drive the heels straight down. 3 more like this. Working with your breath in. Pushing the floor away as you empty, squeeze the glutes. 2 more times, breathe in. Breathe out. Once more, inhale. Nice long exhale, lift, lift, lift. And then lower the hips back down. Hug your right knee and then your left knee into your chest. Bring your palms to your kneecaps and then circle your knees in opposite directions here. So use your hands to move your knees. If this feels like way too complicated or the coordination just doesn't make sense, you can just move around in any way that feels good here. Switch the direction of those knee circles. And then hug your right knee into your chest. Let the left leg kick up or forward, but keep the left foot away from the mat. Curl your chin in toward your chest, lifting up, bringing your nose toward your right knee. I did say we were going to build some heat, right? Switch legs. Switch legs. And you can keep switching side to side. You can use your hands to bring a little bit of pressure onto that top shin as you pull it in. Tuck the tailbone just a tiny bit. We're only here for 10, 9, 8. Abs are curling in. 6, 5, 4. Tiny tuck to the tailbone still. 2 and 1. Both knees to your chest. Rock forward until you can find Navasana, catching the back side of the knees here. Bring your chest towards your thighs and then start to straighten the legs out and point the toes. And the knees could still be bent. That is A-okay. Wherever your legs are, hold them there. Bring your hands back behind you. Elbows are pointing back, fingers are pointing forward. Lower your legs to a hover as you bend the elbows more. Bring your chest back, closer to the mat behind you. Take a breath in. Exhale, knees to your chest, chest to your thighs. 9 more like this. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, squeeze. Think chest to thighs, not just thighs to chest. 8 more. First lips, exhale, if that works for you. For 6. For 5. Controlling the breath. So starting to work that pranayama. Last 3. Last 2. Hold your last one. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Use your hands to press the chest toward the thighs. And then cross the ankles. Find a seated position at the top of the mat. Go ahead and circle your shoulders and your ribs over your hips a couple times. Relax any tension that you built up in the shoulders. Switch the direction of those circles that you're making. See if you can make the circles really kind of big and round. So as you I'll slow it down a little bit. As you come to the back, think cat, rounding your spine a bit. And then as you slide forward, think a little cow, lifting the chin a bit. 2 more circles in this direction. And 1. Sweep the arms up over your head, breathe in. Bring your hands to your heart. Let your eyes soften or close back down again. So after a little bit of quick movement, maybe you feel a little warmer in your body, you feel a little more connected to your breath. And take a moment here to check in with what your body needs from you today, with what your body needs from your practice. What sensations are you aware of? Oftentimes the body speaks to us in the form of sensation. So you might have sensations that indicate that there's a lot of energy that the body would love you to move with and move through. You might have sensations that are communicating that there's joints or muscle tissue. It just takes a little bit of extra intentional movement, a lot of kind of mindful movement around any pockets that you feel some discomfort or pain. That might be really unclear what the body needs from you today, and that's fine too. In that case, let your practice be an exploration. Just stay real curious about what's serving you best. Take what you need, and without any apology, give yourself permission to ditch the rest. Big cleansing breath here, in through your nose. Once more, let the belly fill. Let the chest expand and lift. Maybe the shoulders even lift up toward the ears. Sip in a tiny bit more breath at the top. Open your mouth. Blink the eyes open if they were closed. Meet me on your hands and your knees, finding your tabletop position. You can spread the fingers out wide, but not so wide that you're creating a bunch of tension, and then circle the shoulders over the wrists a few times. Switch the direction of those circles that you're making. Stay spacious in your lower back here. Come through the center. Tip the tailbone toward the ceiling. Lift the chin. Take a breath in, finding your cow back. And then tuck the tailbone as you exhale, chin toward your chest, finding that cat. Come back to cow, breathe in, imagine the heels of your hands gliding toward your knees. And then cat, long exhale, imagine your fingertips gliding toward the top of the mat. 2 more, deep breath. Long exhale. Come through neutral, extend your right leg straight back behind you, and then reach the left arm forward, finding your spinal balance. Press the right thumb down into the mat. You can stay right here, or bend into your right knee, reach the left hand back, maybe find that right foot. If you find a foot, go ahead and kick into it lightly. We're gonna take this into an elbow to knee. So inhale to release. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Curl under the body. Take the limbs long, breathe in. So we're not doing the bind anymore. Exhale, elbow to knee. Squeeze as you press the floor away. 3 more, inhale. Exhale. Work with your breath. Biggest stretch yet. Squeeze, 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 and hold. Maybe you reach the left hand down, catch the left shin, curl that knee to your nose or your forehead. And then you're gonna kick the left leg back, come to the left palm, spin onto the inside of the right foot. Left toes might kind of drag back behind you a little bit as you reach your right arm up for a side plank variation. And then circle out through your right shoulder and arm a few times. Nice and soft through the right wrist and the fingers. Switch the direction of those shoulder circles that you're making. And then really lengthen your tailbone toward your back heel. Reach that right arm long, spin the chest up toward the sidewall or maybe even toward the ceiling. Stay here, maybe reach the right hand for the base of the skull, the back of the neck, lifting that right elbow, not just up, but trying to stretch open, breathe in. And then bring your hand and your knee back down. Walk your hips to your heels. Interlace your fingers and then roll out the wrists. Just move through the wrists. If this interlace switch the direction doesn't work out super well for you, you can just release the hands and circle through the wrist. Switching that direction of those wrist circles. Sweep the arms up. Take a breath in. Bend the elbows, find a goalpost, and then tip the chin toward the ceiling. Interlace your hands at your lower back. Keep that extension in the spine, dragging the knuckles down toward your toes or behind the toes. And then release everything. Come back to your hands and your knees. Waggle out the hips. Move around through cat-cow. Do whatever you like or need. And we're going to move through that little warm-up sequence on the other side. Left leg comes back. Right arm comes forward. Breathe here into your spinal balance. Or bend the left knee, reach back with your right hand to catch the foot. Little clue here that tucking these right toes under is going to make this a little easier. It'll give you more balance. Woo. Sometimes even easier is still a bit too tough. Take everything long as you breathe in. Elbow to knee on the breath out. 4 more times like that. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze, not in a rush at all. Last one, really reach to the fingers and the toes. Pull elbow to knee. Maybe you bring your right hand to the left shin and guide that knee to your forehead or your nose. For 3, 2, 1. Side plank variation. Right hand down under your shoulder. Left leg kicks back and then left arm reaches up. Circling out through that left arm. Switch the direction of those arm circles. Lengthening tailbone toward your back heel. Take that left arm forward. Start to pivot. Well, yeah, we're pivoting the sternum toward the ceiling. Maybe reach back with your left hand, catch the nape of the neck. Left elbow starts to point not just up, but maybe to the right, back behind you. Big breath in. And then release, coming back to all fours. Tuck the toes under. Walk your hips back to your heels for toes pose this time. We'll find padma mudra. So padma means lotus. What you'll do is you'll bring the inner edges of the wrist together. Let's see what's better to see. Inner edges of the wrist together. I'll just turn sideways. And the fingers are wide, right? Like a lotus flower here. We're going to keep the inner edges or keep some part of the wrist connected. So you'll move that connection as you rotate. Soft gaze down toward your hands. And then switch the direction of those wrist circles. So important to be really nice and mobile through the wrists, since we're putting some weight on the hands today. Come back to the center, sweep the arms up overhead as you breathe in. Let's take it right into downward facing dog. Plant your hands, lift the knees. Couple deep breaths in your down dog. Bend into the knees a bunch to find a lot of length in your spine. You might move around in another way that just feels really good in your own body. Lift and lower the heels. Pedal out one foot at a time. Do a little neck check. Give your head a shake or a nod. And from downward facing dog, take a walk to the top of the mat, finding ragdoll with your feet at least hips distance, maybe even wider than hips distance apart here. Once more, big bend into the knees here. Shift the weight slightly from foot to foot. Finding a little sway, letting gravity help decompress some of the vertebra in the spine. So point the crown of the head straight down. Your nose points back between your knees. Release the hands down. Heel toe the feet a bit closer together here. And then slide your palms to your shins as you find a halfway lift. Inhale, hips back, crown of the head forward. Exhale, catch your calves. Take it into a more active forward fold. Take your time to roll up to standing, pressing the feet down. Sweep the arms overhead on your inhale. And then bring the hands to your heart as you empty. Surya Namaskar A. We'll do about 3. Reach up and breathe in. Fold forward as you breathe out. Halfway stretch. Inhale long through your spine. Plant the hands, step back, high plank to low plank. So we're kind of getting right into it this time. You could go all the way to your belly if you prefer. Upward dog or cobra. As you inhale, press into the tops of the feet, broaden out the collarbones and up dog. And then downward facing dog. Roll over onto the balls of the feet. And just the second down dog, still kind of easing into it. If you know Surya Namaskar A, or you have a variation of this warm-up that you like, feel free to move through that. You can just let my words kind of fade into the background. Otherwise, I'll cue through 2 more before we move on. Exhale all of your breath at the back of the mat. Empty, 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 empty the lungs. And then step, walk, or hop your feet to the top. Halfway stretch. Take a big breath in. Maybe open mouth exhale for your forward fold. Rise with the inhale. You could look up toward the ceiling. Bring your hands to your heart. Take your eyes to your fingertips. Reach up and take a breath in. Engage the glutes gently. Fold forward as you exhale. Halfway stretch. Breathe in. Plant the hands, step back, high plank to low plank. Use a long exhale. Again, not in a rush. Upward dog or cobra. Finish your breath, finish your stretch. Downward facing dog. Take one deep breath here. Stay for the exhale and then hold that exhale. Empty, empty, empty. Lift the heels, step, walk, or hop to the top. Last one, halfway stretch, breathe in. Fold forward, breathe out. Rise with the inhale, try and finish that stretch as you finish your breath. Hands to your heart on an exhale. Reach up and fill up. Fold forward, emptying out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Last time, Vinyasa through to downward facing dog. Last time in a sun salutation A. We'll probably do a few more of these. But however you want to get to downward facing dog is perfect. Remember, we're listening to the sensations of our body and responding in a way that's skillful. From downward facing dog, kick your right leg back behind you, bend the right knee externally open through that right hip. You can circle through your right ankle or maybe circle through the right knee. Again, maybe just exploring what feels productive today, what feels like a challenge that's very, very doable, but not so easy that you get bored. Kick that leg straight back, breathe in. Step your right foot between your thumbs, drop the back knee down, and then sweep the arms up. You can be on the back toes or you can untuck that left foot. So in a supported crescent here, lengthen the crown of the head away from your sternum. Feel the wrists drop up away from your shoulders. Big breath in. Find half Hanumanasana, your half split. Frame out your front foot and then start to stretch back through the right hip. Right leg does not need to straighten out. We're looking for sensation. So if you feel a sense of lengthening in the back of the right leg, you're in a great place. You can kick that right heel away from you and curl the toes back toward the shin or the knee. 2 deep breaths here. As you exhale, what can you let go of? Maybe some gripping in the jaw. Rebend the front knee. Find your dragonfly twist. Keep the left knee down for now. So reaching, right arm up, left knee stays down. And then bring that right hand down, framing out the right foot, but just stay on the fingertips here. Now lift the chest, bend the elbows to get into another variation of this Anjani Asana, really opening up the collarbones. Shoulders are hugging the spine here. Breathe in. And then tuck the back toes, bring your fingertips down around the front foot. Step the left foot to the top of the mat, meeting your right for your forward fold. Halfway stretch here, breathe in. Optional open mouth, exhale, fold forward. Rise with the inhale, lengthen and lift. This time take an open arm chair twist. You can keep the knees bent, or keep the knees apart, rather, keep the feet and the knees apart. We're actually definitely bending the knees in this chair twist, right? Although I should mention you can keep the legs straight. Maybe that was what I meant to say. Come back to center, breathe in. Take your open arm twist to the other side. Knees can be bent or you can straighten them out. Look back toward your back thumb. Come back to the center on the inhale, slight tuck to the tail, core is active, and then fold forward as you exhale. Halfway stretch, breathe in. This time you're gonna step your right foot to the back of the mat, drop the right knee down, reach the arms up. You can stay on the right toes or release that right foot to the mat. Nice long inhale, half split. Frame out the front foot, stretch back through the left hip, the left hamstring. Curling left toes toward your left shin. And then energetically pressing that left heel forward. Give yourself 2 more big breaths. Breathe into the space where you feel sensation in your body. As you exhale, can you let go of some tension, maybe around the neck, the shoulders, the hands? 1 more breath. Supported dragonfly. Rebend the left knee, keep the right knee down as you inhale the left arm up. Left fingers sweep the mat on your exhale. Bend the elbows, pull the chest through, tip the chin up. Nice long in-breath. And then plant the hands. This time step your left foot to the back of the mat, high to low push-up. Cobra or up dog. Breathe in, shoulders hugging the spine. And then downward facing dog on your breath out. This time the left leg's gonna lift up. We'll move through that a little faster. Bend the left knee. Circle the left ankle, circle the left knee. Just mobilizing in that left lower limb in whatever way makes sense for you today. On an in-breath, kick the leg back. Step the left foot forward, drop the right knee. Anjaneyasana, inhale, reach the arms up. I'm going to recommend keeping the back toes tucked. Exhale, half Hanumanasana, find that half split. Dragonfly twist with support, breathe in as you lift the left arm. Exhale, left fingers sweep the top of the mat. Inhale, bent elbows, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, forward fold at the top. Halfway lift, breathe in. Chest to thighs, breathe out. Rise on the inhale. Open armchair twist to the right. Come back to the center, breathe in. Open arm twist, this time go to the left. Take it back to the center on your inhale. Fold forward as you empty. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Left foot steps to the back of the mat, drop the left knee down. Anjaneyasana on the inhale, reach up. Half split as you exhale, send the hips back. Supported dragonfly, inhale, right arm opens. Exhale, right fingers brush the top of the mat. Inhale, bend elbows, lift. High to low push-up. Step the right foot to the back and flow through your vinyasa to downward facing dog. When you get to down dog, pedal it out. Maybe take a big breath in and an open mouth exhale. I'm going to put together a slightly different flow from here, but we'll keep some of those pieces. Reach the right leg up on the inhale. Bring your right knee towards your right elbow. Bring your shoulders over your wrist. Press the mat away. Kick back as you breathe in. Bring your right foot between the thumbs as you breathe out. Drop the back knee. Anjaneyasana, inhale. Half split as you exhale. Come back to Anjaneyasana. Breathe in. This time we're going to find pyramid pose. So you might slide your front foot back a bit, tuck the back toes under, and then straighten out both legs just until you feel a nice stretch in the back of the thighs here. It's a great place if you have blocks or maybe a wall or a piece of furniture to bring your hands onto for some support. Otherwise, you can frame out your front foot and bring your nose toward your right knee or shin. From pyramid pose, walk the hands forward a bit. Shift the weight into the front foot, left heel lifts, and then lift the left leg up, finding standing split. Keep walking the hands as far forward as you need to get the palms flat. So that could be quite far forward. Bend your left knee, let that left knee point up. So finding that external rotation here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to straighten the left leg and then flex the left foot. Bring your left toes to your left wrist. Press the floor away with your hands. So lots of abdominal engagement here. Take that leg back, bend the knee, inhale, knee points up. Exhale, left toes, left wrist. One more like that. Breathe in. And breathe out. Take the legs straight up into standing splits here. Walk the hands back toward your right ankle. Maybe you catch hold of the right ankle. Maybe you use your fingers under your shoulders for balance. We're going to find a Shiva squat here, bringing your left knee to your right calf. Again, you could keep hold of that right ankle. You could frame the front foot with your fingers. You could bring your hands to your heart. If you've got the ankle, you're going to want to release it. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to come all the way up, left knee up into your chest. Reach the arms up. Breathe in. And then bring the left toes, I'll turn to the side, left toes over to the left. Just tap the toes down. Reach the arms out into a T. And then lift, or pivot the left heel in, lift the left knee up. So it's kind of like tree, but we're not bringing that foot inward toward the thigh. Bring that knee forward, so close the hip here. And then bring the knee out. Two more. Forward and out. One more. Close the hip. Open the hip. Reach the arms up as you bring that knee forward, and then hands to your heart. Kick the left leg forward. Woo, last little bit on this side. You're gonna lever that left leg back as you tip the chest forward, finding an airplane pose here. Hands can stay at your heart center, or you can find your airplane wings or your Virabhadrasana arms. From airplane, crescent lunge, take a big step to the back of the mat with the ball of the left foot. Sweep the arms up overhead as you breathe in. And then plant the hands, step back, high plank to low plank, or however you want to get to downward facing dog, including just stepping right back. From downward facing dog, the left leg on an inhale lifts. Left knee, left elbow, press the floor away with your hands. Kick back and breathe in. Step the left foot between the thumbs, soften the right knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half split. Come back to that Anjaneyasana as you breathe in. This time we've got pyramid pose, so glide the feet a little closer together. And then lift the back knee as you straighten out the legs, just until you feel sensation that's meaningful. So for some folks, and for me on some days, my knees might have quite a big bend in them, and I'm still feeling an awesome stretch in the back of the left leg. And that's the idea. Practice tuning into what it feels like in your body instead of using the barometer of what it looks like. So much of life, like the quality of life and our experience of life, it's going to depend on our ability to shift our focus from the external, what it looks like, to the internal, what it feels like. Walk the hands forward a bit, shift the weight into the front foot, find your standing split for a moment, keep walking the hands forward. Bend the right knee, externally opening that right hip. It's totally fine for your right underarm to pop open, to kind of take a peek underneath the right underarm. Breathe in, kick that right leg long, flex the right toes, and then bring your toes toward your right wrist. Inhale, sweep it back and bend the knee. Exhale, toes to your wrist crease. 2 more, breathe in. And breathe out. Last time, inhale. Exhale. Kick back on the inhale. And then find your Shiva squat here. Bringing your hands, we stayed in standing split. Go ahead and stay in standing split for a moment. Find an arm variation in your standing splits that works for you. You can keep the hands down or challenge the balance, finding your left ankle. And then find your Shiva squat, bringing your right knee to your left calf. If you've caught hold of the left ankle, bring your hands to heart center. Bring them all the way up, right knee comes with you. Reach the arms up, and then bring the right toes over to the right arms to a T. So you're not all the way down on that right foot, just toes are pointing. Pivot the heel in, keep the heel lifted, and then lift that right knee up. Take a breath in. Bring that right knee forward. So right knee is right in front of the right hip. Open the hip, whew, and close the hip. 2 more times. Set your eyes to one spot. Draw in through your abdominals, so you're supporting with your lower core here. Bring that knee forward. Bring your hands to heart center, and then kick that leg out in front of you. I don't know why I set up such a challenging balance sequence today. Start to lever back with that right leg, sending the chest forward, finding your variation of airplane. Keep a little soft bend in your standing knee to protect that left knee joint. You can stay here or find airplane wings or warrior 3 arms. Take a breath in. Slow motion, follow the right foot to the back. Sweep the arms up here in your crescent lunge on the inhale. And then plant the hands, step back high to low through your vinyasa. In downward facing dog, let's take a cleansing breath. So nice long inhale, fill up. Open mouth, exhale. Make your way to the top of the mat, however you want to get there. To get into your half lift, breathe in. Fold forward, breathe out. Rise on the inhale, stretch and lengthen. Bring your hands to your heart as you exhale. Bring the arms to a T, bring the left toes out to the side. Stay here with the left toes out to the side for a moment. We're gonna add on a little bit. Bend your right elbow. Bring your right elbow to your left knee. You can bend both elbows, let's do that. And then take it back into a T. Bend the elbows and twist. 2 more, inhale, T, tap down. Exhale, goalpost, knee to elbow. 1 more time, breathe in. Knee to elbow as you breathe out. Bring your arms back to your T, but keep that left leg where it is. And then open and close the left hip. 2 more, open, close. 1 more, open, close. Open that left hip, reach the arms up over your head. Take a breath in. We're gonna find eagle. Wrap the left leg over, left arm under. Nice big bend in your standing right leg. One of my goals in teaching these Zoom classes is to let myself show up pretty imperfect and without really awesome grace and poise. This practice does not have to look any certain way to be incredibly powerful and productive, not only for our bodies, but for our minds. I think so many of us, myself included, are working through some all or nothing perfectionistic mindsets. Great place to let yourself be a little messy and a lot imperfect here. All right, left knee up, sweep the arms up. Ooh, breathe in. Airplane, kick that left leg back. Hands to your heart on your inhale. Step the ball of the left foot to the back as you exhale. Crescent lunge. Here we are again. Breathe in. And then warrior 2 this time. Back foot comes parallel to the back edge of your mat. Bend into your right knee here. Straighten out that right leg. Reach forward through your right hand, and then let's stand triangle. Bringing the right hand to the right shin, left arm comes up. Lengthen out the spine here, even the crown of the head. And then it's up to you if you want to take your eyes up toward your top thumb, or down, or toward the sidewall. Sweep the left arm forward with your next breath in. Pyramid. Slide the left foot forward, straightening out the right leg, and then bend the left knee deeply. So we'll take a pyramid variation right here. Hips are pressing back, maybe the right toes curl up. Standing split, inhale, kick the left leg high. Go back to that pyramid variation as you exhale, sink the hips toward the back of the mat. Inhale, kick the left leg up. Exhale, bend the left knee as you plant the foot. Standing split, this time hold your standing split, breathe in. Flex the left foot, exhale, tap the left wrist. Kick the left leg high on the inhale. Tap the left wrist as you exhale. Once more, breathe in. And breathe out. Keep that left foot forward, but slide the left foot in front of and outside of the right. So you're crossing the ankles with your left ankle in front. Bend into the knees a bunch. Sweep the hands to the lower back, interlacing your fingers, little balance challenge here as well. Soften the knees, hug the thighs together, keep the bind as you roll it up nice and slow, slow, slow. Once you're upright, drag the knuckles down, kick the chin up, breathe in. Separate the feet, exhale your hands to your heart. Try to move through that on the other side here. All right, reach the arms up on the inhale. This time, the right toes point over to the right. Bend the elbows, find that goalpost. Let's see if it's a little smoother on this side. Take a breath in. As you exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, tee the arms and tap the right toes. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Once more, breathe in and breathe out. All right, take the arms back to a T, pivot the right heel in, lift the right knee up, close and open through that right hip. Stay super strong in the front, lower abdominals, lots of space in the low back. Oh my goodness. All right, keep that leg out. Inhale the arms up. And then exhale into eagle. Right leg over, right arm under. Pick a point somewhere on the horizon for your eyes. Just get curious about where that kind of all or nothing or perfectionism shows up for you. Comes up sometimes in practice, right? When we're afraid to try a certain pose or do a certain shape, do it imperfectly, we judge ourselves, compare ourselves. See if you can just give yourself a ton of credit for who you are in this moment, whether you feel like you're showing up all pulled together or a hot mess. Yoga will take you exactly as you are. Big breath in. Big breath out. Unwind it into an airplane here. Sweeping that leg back. We're going to skip quite a bit. Stay with that theme of imperfection. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale. Follow the back foot to the back of the mat. Exhale. Crescent lunge. Sweep the arms up as you breathe in. And then warrior two. Spin your right heel down. Pause and find this shape in your body. Notice the sensation of warrior two. The sensation in the left thigh with the knee bent. And then we're going to change it by straightening the left leg, stretching long through the left fingers and coming down into Trikonasana. From triangle, you can take the top arm forward, open up through the right side body as you drive that right heel down, breathe in, and then pyramid. Take your time to slide the right foot forward. This time we're going to bend into the right knee a bunch. Maybe you lift the left toes for your pyramid variation. So the thing that this has in common with pyramid is we're stretching the left hamstring. Shift the weight to the left foot. Inhale, right leg lifts. 3 more. Pyramid variation. Drop the right foot, lift the left toes. 2 more. Breathe in. And out. 1 more time in. Last pyramid variation here as you breathe out. Find standing split, little pause. Walk the hands forward as much as you need so that you can plant the hands down. Flex the right toes tap the right wrist. Kick it back. And then curl toes to wrist. 2 more, breathe in. Breathe out. In. Last time, tap the wrist. Keep the right foot forward, but glide it in front of and outside of the left, crossing the ankles, bending the knees, right ankles in front, sweep the hands to the lower back. Find the bind in the opposite way, so whichever way feels a little weird. Roll it up nice and slowly. At the top, drag the knuckles down, give the glutes a little squeeze as you tip the chin up, inhale. Hands to your heart, feet underneath your hips, let the eyes close. And then just shift your weight from foot to foot. It's a little sway. So just slow down that swaying motion. Maybe walk the feet a little closer together. And keep the feet right underneath the hips, but shift your weight forward to the toes. Grasp the mat with your toes. And then shift the weight back to your heels. Let the eyes close down if you need more challenge here. Kind of a little rocking horse on the feet here, forward and backward. Totally okay to lift the heels and then lift the balls of the feet. From here, separate the feet to max distance, toes out, heels in. And then melt the hips down into malasana in your yogi squat. Another nice place to shift weight from foot to foot, kind of release in the lower back. Let the sit bones point downward as much as you comfortably can. Let the crown of the head lift upward as much as you comfortably can. And then find a spot where you feel still. Just breathing into that space, that stretch as you press the elbows into the inner thighs. A nice full inhale. Forward fold on your exhale. Heel to the feet just a bit closer together here. Last little bit on the feet. Sweep the hands to the lower back, interlacing the fingers. Keep that bind. Bend the knees super duper deeply. Keep your right side of the chest connected to the right thigh. Start to straighten the left leg as you open the chest to the left. Maybe you lift the right heel. Knuckles pulling back, crown of the head reaching forward. Breathe in. Keep the bind, but come back through the center. Bend your left knee super deeply. Swap it out. Lift the chest to the right. Bending the left knee, maybe popping the left heel up. Long breath in. Sweep the hands down. Lower the hips all the way down to the mat. And then stretch the legs out in front of you. You can shake out the legs a little bit here. Seems kind of silly, but this like kind of shaking motion can really help release some of that muscular tension that we built up. All right, legs are pretty straight. You can absolutely keep a bend in the knees, but reach the arms up, lift the ribs away from the hips, and then hinge forward, taking your padma fold. You can adjust the distance between the legs if it feels better to have a slightly wider stance here. Or you might choose to come into butterfly, bringing the soles of the feet together and letting the knees part. Whatever forward fold you take, breathe into the back side of your lungs. So see if you can direct those inhales down to the back, down, maybe even all the way down toward the kidneys and the adrenals. Give yourself 4 more long breaths here, inhaling into the sensations of this stretch. As you exhale, what can you let go? 3 more breaths. Keep the forward fold, but start to walk the hands back toward the hips, and then use your fingers and your palms to press the floor away to lift the chest. Bring the hands back behind you, bend the knees. Last little bit, I promise. I know we're coming close to time here. Feet down under the knees, palms down under the shoulders. Lift the hips, tiny tap to the tailbone here. We'll take 3 lion's breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, stick your tongue out. Try and touch the tip of your chin. Inhale through the nose, press the floor away. Lion's breath, maybe you cross your eyes toward your third eye center. 1 more, lift high, breathe in. Lower the hips down slowly, gently. Bring your elbows down and then your back down. Bring the right knee into the chest. Circle the right knee a couple times, just moving around gentle in that right hip socket. And then T or cactus your right arm. Guide your right knee across your body to the left. You can straighten the left leg out underneath you. And this is the point in your practice where really your only job is to practice letting go. And it's fine if that's not something you feel like you're particularly good at. Practice makes us better at these skills. I just think about when I was in college and I would study the material for an exam that I already knew pretty darn well. I would very much gloss over or avoid the parts of the chapter that weren't coming as easily to me. Back to the center, take a big breath. And then swap out your twist. Left knee comes in, circle the left knee, cactus or T the left arm, guide your knee to the right for your twist. Right? And so every time I noticed, eventually I caught on to myself, right? Eventually we catch on to our habits. And when that happens, we have an opportunity, we have just a little bit of wiggle room to make some adjustments, to make some changes. So if letting go, if surrender feel very difficult to you, if acceptance is not something that you feel like you're just naturally very good with, me too. And now's a really beautiful low stakes chance to practice just that. As you come back through center, extend one limb at a time into Savasana, each leg, each arm, stretching out a gentle distance away from the body. And then your one and only job here is to allow yourself to just be. You can connect to the word surrender or release, relax, whatever speaks to you. Every exhale is an opportunity to continue that energetic letting go. Listen for the sound of my voice in just about 30 seconds to close together. As always, if you have longer to stay in Shavasana, please shut off the tape and do just that. Start to nod your head gently side to side. Step the feet down underneath the knees. Reach your arms back up over your head. Interlace the fingers. Draw in one last long breath. And then let it go. Leave it all here as you shift from your back to a seat, meeting me in a seated position, taking a final moment to acknowledge yourself for showing up, your practice, for taking care of your body, your spirit, and maybe doing some of that mental kind of untangling that this practice can be so helpful for. Reminder, as always, that you did enough, you are enough, you are exactly enough as you are. Namaste. Have a great rest of your day. Let me know how that flow worked for you. And I hope to see you again real soon.